Making headlines, government reopens the Ras Fanu beach area to the public after undergoing temporary renovations. Foreign Minister arrives in Saudi Arabia to attend the extraordinary session of the Council of Foreign Ministers of OIC. And House Minister says that the ministry is formulating new plans to redevelop the Ras Fanu beach and Sultan Park.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to PSM News in English. I'm your host Ahmad Imad and I'll be continuing with the details for the latest stories. The government reopens the Ras Fanu beach area to the public after undergoing temporary renovations, providing much needed relief to the community that frequents its facilities.
On March 6th, President Dr. Mohamed Moise visited the site to inspect the improvements. These renovations were undertaken to ensure the public could utilize the facilities during the fasting month of Ramadan. Following President Dr. Moise's pledge to redevelop the facility, relevant government officers commenced the necessary work, leading to temporary closure of the Ras Fanu area since late February. During this period, the Public Works Department of the Ministry of Cities, Local Government and Public Works, in collaboration with government-owned companies, conducted a comprehensive cleaning of the premises. The facilities that received temporary upgrades include huts, barbecue stands, showers and the swimming area. Originally developed in 2016 under Dr. Moise's leadership as Minister of Housing, the Ras Fanu area located in Mafanu Ward introduced new amenities such as Jolly, Holwashi, facilities for fishermen and barbecue stands. A designated parking area was also established. Ras Fanu quickly became a popular destination for Malé residents of all ages, serving as a venue for social gatherings and events. However, over the years, the area suffered from neglect due to inadequate renovation and maintenance. This neglect resulted in damage to several facilities, prompting public complaints about broken and damaged jolly, holwashi and huts, exacerbated by tidal surges during severe weather conditions, which also caused beach erosion. In response to these issues, the President addressed the state of Ras Fanu and Sultan Park on 14th February, expressing concern over their conditions. He pledged to restore both facilities to their former glory, underscoring their importance as places where residents of the congested capital city can find respite and happiness. President also assured the public of his administration's commitment to revitalizing these facilities and making them vibrant once again. The government announced that the renovation and redevelopment of Ras Fanu will proceed with the participation of government-owned companies, aiming to complete the full renovation before the end of the fasting month of Ramadan.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdullah Khalil arrives in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia to attend the extraordinary session of the Council of Foreign Ministers of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC. The session will discuss the ongoing Israeli aggression against the Palestinian people and calls to displace them from their land. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said the minister will participate in discussions with Arab and Islamic countries to advocate against the Israeli attempts to expel the Palestinian people from their land and reaffirm support for their right to remain in their land. The OIC is the world's largest organization formed to address challenges faced by Islamic countries. The Maldives has also welcomed the adoption of the Gaza reconstruction plan presented by Egypt, which was endorsed at the Arab League Summit on Gaza in Cairo, Egypt, on 4th March. The Maldives believes the proposed plans focus on relief and rebuilding of Gaza under the governance of the Palestinian Authority paves way for a lasting, peaceful solution where the people of Palestine can remain on their land and uphold the Palestinian cause. The Maldives has consistently advocated for the establishment of an independent Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital, in line with the pre-1967 borders. Minister of Construction, Housing and Infrastructure Dr. Abdullah Muttalib discloses that the ministry is currently formulating new plans to redevelop the Ras Fannu Beach and Sultan Park areas. The redevelopment work is scheduled to commence following the conclusion of the fasting month of Ramadan. This announcement came during a media briefing at the recently reopened Ras Fannu Beach, which had undergone temporary renovations.
Neglect over the years due to inadequate renovation and maintenance has left the Ras Fannu area in disrepair. Damage to several facilities prompted public complaints about broken jolly, holuashi and huts, exacerbated by tidal surges during severe weather conditions that also caused beach erosion. In late February, the Ras Fannu area was temporarily closed for renovations to ensure public use during Ramadan. Minister Muttalib, speaking to the press, confirmed that the area has been reopened following necessary temporary renovations. According to him, government officers and government state-owned companies collaborated on the project, completing it within approximately a week. He added that the renovations included cleaning the beach nourishment, and the renovation of the roofs of huts and seating arrangements. Despite the reopening, the minister announced that a comprehensive redevelopment work will begin immediately after Ramadan. He outlined plans to enhance Ras Fannu Beach, promising improved facilities for the public, making it more useful and comfortable. Currently, there are no public restrooms at the beach, prompting Minister Muttalib to prioritize the development of such facilities. The redevelopment plans also include entertainment options and the repair of the damaged fishing platform, which will be beneficial for fishermen, according to him. He said that the seating arrangements will also be expanded with more jolly. Sultan Park has similarly suffered from years of neglect and lack of maintenance. Minister Muttalib stated that redevelopment plans for Sultan Park are also in the works. The ice skating rink inside the park will be repurposed, and there are plans to complete a building inside the park that remains unfinished. Highlighting the importance of public spaces in Male, a densely populated area, the minister underscored President Dr. Muiz's commitment to providing areas where families can spend time together. He said the administration is dedicated to redeveloping facilities like Sultan Park and Ras Fannu to ensure the public benefits from these spaces.
The Maldives Food and Drug Authority (MFDA) reports a substantial reduction in food safety issues since the ratification and implementation of the Food Safety Act. Enacted in May 2024, the legislation offers a comprehensive framework for the regulation of food safety, ensuring all food products, whether domestically produced, imported or exported, are devoid of harmful substances and adhere to established standards.
Proposed by the current administration, the Food Safety Act is designed to ensure all food and beverages entering the country must meet rigorous safety criteria. The law stipulates explicit procedures and standards that must be followed by all stakeholders within the food industry, including producers and vendors. It also authorizes the MFDA to enact stringent punitive measures against non-compliant food service providers and production facilities. Aminat Shabana Ali, Food Quality Assurance Coordinator at MFDA, told PSM News that the authority has ramped up inspections of food production and retail establishments since the law's enactment. She said that MFDA ensures adherence to recommended storage temperatures for food items during these inspections. Shabana noted that the new law has endowed the MFDA with additional powers to take punitive action against violators of food safety regulations. This empowerment has led to a significant decline in issues identified during MFDA inspections, she added. She also highlighted the importance of compliance with the law and relevant regulations, which also extends to food producers. She elaborated that the MFDA has received complaints about improperly labeled food items produced in local homes and sold in shops. She urged all food producers and manufacturers, especially those preparing food at home for sale, to comply with the law and accompanying regulations. According to the Food Safety Act, all food sellers and producers must be registered with the MFDA. Food items can only be sold at registered outlets or shops. The law's primary objective is to establish standards for various aspects of food production and preparation, including packaging, labeling, preservation, storage, trade, supply, and distribution. It also delineates the standards and licensing requirements for establishments involved in these processes, specifying the hygiene standards individuals must follow to ensure food safety.
The Maldives Transport and Contracting Company (MTCC) announces that the Henver Ferry Terminal and Hulumale Ferry Terminal will be open to public ferry operators following a directive by President Dr. Mohamed Moise. The harbours of Male City are the busiest in the country, with hundreds of vessels docking and departing daily. While space constraints are the biggest challenge faced in loading and unloading goods and boarding and disembarking from vessels, the issue has been a concern for ferry and speedboat operators. The harbours are especially busy during the school holidays and other significant holidays, where travel to the atolls increase significantly. Due to limited docking space, vessels are often moored behind one another, making boarding and disembarking difficult, especially for the elderly and people with disabilities. The practice also creates safety risks. In response to these concerns, the President has requested MTCC to open the Henver and Hulumale ferry terminals to public ferry operators. The company has asked those interested in using the space to express their interest via email before 1400 hours on 10th March. MTCC may be contacted for further information. The opening of the two terminals for public use, which have previously been limited to MTCC use only, is expected to ease congestion at Male harbours and improve safety and accessibility for passengers. It is also expected to reduce traffic in the surrounding lagoon. Immigration statistics show that the UK was the top source market for the Maldives tourism industry in February.
According to the Maldives Immigration, 214,091 tourists visited Maldives in February, bringing the total visitors to the island nation so far in 2025 to 428,954. The statistics showed that in February, the UK piped China to top the arrival charts by 23,210 visitors. Chinese tourists were a close second with 21,928, followed by Russia and Italy. The highest single-day arrival of tourists was on 16th February with 9,518 arrivals, which also happens to be the highest single-day arrivals recorded so far in 2025. The daily arrivals average so far for this year is 7,646 tourists. Despite the dip in February, China has contributed to dominate the numbers as the top source tourist market for the island nation, with over 60,000 Chinese visitors so far this year, followed by Russia and the United Kingdom. The world-renowned tourist destination in 2024 witnessed the highest number of tourist arrivals in a single year in its 52-year tourism history. According to the tourism figures, a total of 2,047,435 tourists had holidayed in the Maldives in 2024. This is a 9% increase from the 1,878,543 tourists from 2023. This marks the first time Maldives has welcomed 2 million tourists to its shores in a calendar year. The government aims to improve tourism occupancy and bring in 15% more tourists this year than last year, while boosting tourism revenue to $5 billion.
Diragu has been awarded the fastest 5G network in the Maldives in the Ookla Speed Test Awards for the last 2 quarters of 2024. The award was presented at the Mobile World Congress 2025 in Barcelona, Spain, one of the most prestigious global platforms showcasing cutting-edge advancements in mobile technology. This is the 4th time Diragu has been crowned with this prestigious title. Diragu said this achievement is a testament to its continued investment in innovation and commitment to delivering world-class connectivity. Diragu said in a statement that the company has consistently led the way in introducing innovative digital solutions as the first digital service provider to launch commercial 5G services in both South Asia and the Maldives in 2019. With 60% of the population having access to Diragu ultra-fast 5G network, the company said it remains dedicated to expanding their 5G footprint, enhancing customer experiences, and driving the nation's digital transformation. The CEO and Managing Director of Diragu, Ismail Rashid, and the Chief Technology and Information Officer of Diragu, Muhammad Musad, accepted the prestigious awards on behalf of the company. Ismail Rashid expressed his delight in this remarkable accomplishment, saying that this achievement reflects its commitment to delivering the best digital experience. Ookla is the global leader in fixed broadband and mobile network testing applications, data and analysis. Speedtest, Ookla's flagship network testing platform, collects hundreds of millions of measurements about the performance and quality of networks around the world each day. Microsoft says the company will invest an additional $296.81 million by the end of 2027 to expand its cloud and artificial intelligence infrastructure in South Africa to meet the growing demand for the company's Azure services in the region.
Microsoft Vice Chair and President Brad Smith said at an event in Johannesburg that the world's biggest software maker would pay for technical certification exams for 50,000 individuals in high-demand digital skills.
We are investing more money to expand our AI and data center infrastructure here in South Africa. We're going to expand on the 20 billion rand we have spent with a new investment of 5.4 billion rand. This will build out and provide even more data center capacity.
He added that the certification will be for cloud architecture, AI, and cyber security.
And that's why we're announcing today that we're investing, we're paying, so that 50,000 people here can go get the additional courses and take the certification exams to get what we call a Microsoft certification.
Microsoft has already spent 20.4 billion rand to set up South Africa's first enterprise-grade data centers in Johannesburg and Cape Town. The country has become a major hub for data centers to handle the high computational demands of AI as companies seek to integrate the technology into various products and services. Microsoft plans to invest about $80 billion globally in fiscal 2025 on developing data centers to train AI models and deploy AI and cloud-based applications.
European leaders back plans to spend more on defense and continue to stand by Ukraine in a world upended by President Donald Trump's reversal of US policies.
The European Union's defense summit in Brussels took place amid fears that Russia, emboldened by its war in Ukraine, may attack an EU country next, and that Europe can no longer rely on the US to come to its aid. EU leaders hailed the European Commission's proposals this week to give them fiscal flexibility on defense spending and to jointly borrow up to 150 billion euros to lend to EU governments to spend on their militaries. In a joint statement agreed by all 27 member states, the leaders called on their ministers to examine these proposals in detail urgently.
We all want a peace through strength. A just and lasting peace, but a peace from a position of strength. And this is also in the interest of President Trump, to have a peace through strength. And if he wants to achieve this, it is only possible with the support of the European Union and its member states, because preconditions have to be met. We have been the ones, for example, who have secured the economic survival of Ukraine for the year 2025. We are the ones who now invest a lot in Ukrainian defense industry and are providing the military capabilities that Ukraine needs.
The EU leaders also voiced support for Ukraine, but that statement was agreed without Hungary's nationalist leader Viktor Orban, a Trump ally who is also cultivating ties with Moscow. In their statement, the 26 other EU leaders stressed that there can be no negotiations on Ukraine without Ukraine and vowed to continue to give it aid, according to a recent draft.
Syrian security forces send military reinforcements to Latakia on Syria's coast after fighters linked to ousted leader Bashar al-Assad mounted a deadly attack on government forces.
Members from Syrian security forces cheered "God is the greatest," while getting security forces had been killed and wounded in what he described as a well-planned attack carried out by remnants of the Assad militants. It marked a sharp escalation of violence against the government since the Islamist insurgent led by Sahara's Hayat Tahrir al-Sham toppled Assad and seized power.
Lewis Hamilton feels the force of the Ferrari fans as he and teammate Charles Leclerc sped around Milan's Piazza Castello before heading to Australia for the start of the Formula One season.
Some 35,000 tifosi thronged the event, presented by Ferrari sponsor Unicredit. As 7 times world champion, Hamilton performed smoking tire burnouts after filling the city streets with noise. Hamilton drove a 2021 SF21 car while Leclerc was at the wheel of an SF90, the car in which he won his first race for the team in 2019, with both running at the same time and passing each other.
Well, firstly, already just driving Ferrari is a huge honor, but they already have an incredible legacy. So it's not that they need necessarily another championship because they have so many already, but I know that's what they exist to do, to work towards, and I know the Tifosi are dying for that, and it would be, I wouldn't be able to find the words to be able to express just how special that would be, but that's what we work towards.
The most successful team in Formula One have not won a championship since the 2008 Constructors' title, and Hamilton, moving from Mercedes to Maranello, arrives chasing a record 8th. The Briton said Ferrari had left no stone unturned in their preparations, and he added, for Melbourne, feeling relaxed and in good shape.
It's always exceptional. It's always above expectations. Being a Ferrari driver is a very, very unique and special experience, and something I'll remember for forever in my life, for sure. I'm very lucky to be in that position. We experience crazy things all the time, especially coming to Italy, and an event like this had never been done before, and it was just exceptional. To be driving in the streets of Milan with so much tifosi was very special.
Leclerc, who won at home in Monaco and Ferrari's home race at Monza last year, said the support of the fans was sure to be an extra boost. The season starts in Melbourne on March 16th.
Elon Musk's SpaceX loses contact with its Starship rocket in space during its 8th test mission, dooming a satellite deployment demonstration in the company's 2nd consecutive Starship failure this year.
Several videos on social media showed debris streaking through the dusk skies near South Florida and the Bahamas after Starship's breakup in space, which occurred after SpaceX live stream of the mission showed it tumbling uncontrollably. The 403-foot rocket system had lifted off about 6:30 p.m. ET from SpaceX's sprawling Boca Chica, Texas rocket facilities, with its super heavy first stage booster returning back to land as planned. But minutes later, SpaceX's live stream showed the Starship upper stage spinning in space, while a visualization of the rocket's engines showed multiple engines shut down before the company confirmed it had lost contact with the ship. The Federal Aviation Administration issued group stops at Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Orlando airports because of space launch debris. The failure is another setback for SpaceX's Whirlwind Starship development program. Musk, SpaceX's CEO, has pushed for swift advances in the rocket's development in 2025, but a failure in Starship's first attempt to launch since exploding in space in January puts a dent in Musk's development vision as he aims to build a rocket capable of sending bigger batches of satellites to space as well as humans to the moon and Mars.
And that wraps up the news for right now. Thank you for tuning into PSM News. Wish you a pleasant day ahead.
ಬರಕಾತೆರೆ ರಮಲಾನ್ ಮಹುಗೆ ಹೇ ಒದ್ಮಾತ ಹುನಿಯಾ ಟಿವಿ ಬಲ್ಲವಾ ಲೋಬಿತ್ ರೈತುನಂ ಅರಿಸ್ಕುರಂ